Move things along here as we continue to hear more updates coming to us from down in Georgia. The name Ahmaud Arbery has been a name we have said time and time again, especially when there was a trial going on down in Georgia for 3 men who were involved in his death. And now we have a judge who has made some important rulings when it comes to some plea deals for both Travis and Greg McMichael. What we want to do is continue this topic with Fox 5's Portia Berner. She's joining us here on Live Now from Fox. And Portia, I know there's been a lot of people following this trial very closely. There could have possibly been a plea deal that had been filed earlier here this morning that the judge could have agreed to.
Perfect. Sounds good.
Yeah, but she in fact rejected it. And just to be clear, she rejected the plea deal for 36-year-old Travis McMichael, not his father, Gregory McMichael. That ruling came down from the federal judge around 3:30 this afternoon down on the coast of Georgia. And the U.S. District Judge Lisa Wood said she was, quote, not comfortable accepting the terms of the plea agreement after hearing objections from several members of Arbery's family. Now, earlier this afternoon, Wanda Cooper Jones appealed to the judge, saying that the McMichaels did not deserve federal prison time and that they should serve their time in state prison, saying in her words now that federal prison time would give them, quote, one last chance to spit in my face after murdering my son. That's what she said in federal court. Of course, cameras are not allowed in the courtroom, so we have to share that with you. We don't have the actual sound. But Arbery family attorney Lee Merritt says the feds thought it was more important to get a confession from Greg and Travis McMichael, but the only way they could get that confession was with an offer to spend their first 30 years of their life in prison sentence in federal prison instead of state prison. The Arbery family has said, though, that a confession at this point meant absolutely nothing after everything that they went through with that state trial down in Brunswick, and said that they just didn't approve of them having the more what they described as cushy and more palatable conditions in federal prison. Arbery's mother says the McMichaels didn't deserve better prison accommodations after the way they cornered Arbery in broad daylight and shot him dead. And here's what she said hours before the judge made that ruling.
I told them very, very adamantly that I wanted them to go to state prison and do their time that Judge Wansby gave them back on the 7th of January. And then I got up this morning and found out that they had accepted this ridiculous plea. Very disrespectful.
Not rule on 64-year-old Gregory McMichael's plea deal, and no word yet on William Roddy Bryant. That's the man who was following behind, recording what happened in that brutal murder on his cell phone. But instead, the judge gave the McMichaels and their lawyers until Friday to decide whether they're going to withdraw that guilty plea and plead and go to trial instead. Now, if the McMichaels decide not to plead guilty, that federal hate crimes trial is set to begin on Monday. It's important to note that the feds were planning to use some of Travis McMichael's various social media posts before the murder, in which he makes really disparaging remarks about black men and women, as evidence in this federal hate crimes trial. So we'll have to see what happens when everyone returns to court on Friday. Christy?
And I have to ask, Portia, you know, we did go into that trial quite a bit for our viewers. Was that some of his social media posts, was that part of the trial when they had just been charged now with the death of Ahmaud Arbery? I don't believe we've seen those posts yet before.
No, we have not. And I wasn't in court, so I don't want to speak out of turn here, but it is my understanding that it was not used as part of the evidence, that was one of the many motions that the defense attorneys had long before that trial, trying to argue that those should not be entered into evidence because they had nothing to do with what happened the actual day in February 2020 when Ahmaud Arbery was shot and killed. So that's something that the feds, the FBI, actually an agent testified today that was going to be part of what they were going to be looking at if this trial moves forward next Monday. Christy?
All right. Well, we do appreciate you catching us all up, especially when there's so many different moving parts that still goes on with these 3 men who are, again, charged with the death of Ahmaud Arbery. Fox 5's Portia Berner joining us here on Live Now from Fox. Thanks so much, Portia, for being here today.
You're welcome. Thank you, Christy.